Hi everyone, it's Rebecca. So for my tutorial this time I decided to do something that you could wear to some Oscar parties that you might have coming up. The Oscars for me, they've always been about like the 1930s, 1940s. I just think that look was so glamorous and so just romantic and feminine and yet powerful at the same time. So I decided to do kind of a classic, sexy, old retro screen siren kind of look for you today, with fun, dramatic false eyelashes and of course the bold red lips. So if you like this look and would like to see how I do it, keep watching.
So the first thing we want to do is prime our face. A little goes a long way, so you don't need very much of this. You're just going to apply that all over, and especially along in the T-zone area, just because that's where a lot of times your larger pores and fine lines and everything will be. So you're just going to spread that all over so that we'll get a nice smooth finish when we apply our foundation. Next, you want to apply your foundation. Now my foundation's a little bit too light for me at this point, so I'm going to blend it with a little bit of tinted moisturizer just so that I can get the right color for me. And you're just going to take a flat foundation brush and apply that all over your face. I generally, when applying foundation, start from my nose and work outwards just because my nose usually needs the most concealing. It usually gets the reddest out of any other place on my face. So you just want to blend that down and make sure you blend down your neck and along your jawbone as well so that you don't get that sort of masked look. You're just going to blend this really nicely so that we get a nice smooth finish. And then we're going to move on to concealing. I'm using a cream concealer by Sephora, and I'm just going to take the nude color and pat that under my eyes, on any blemishes that I might have, definitely around my nose since that gets the reddest. And actually I'm going to take a little bit of time for this look to just apply some concealer to the moles that I have on my face. Generally I just leave my moles alone. I feel like they're just part of my face, and at this point I even feel like they give it a little bit of character, but because I do want a more flawless finish for this look, I'm going to just lighten them up a bit so that they're not quite as noticeable. Usually when I'm applying concealer, I'll press the concealer on the blemish and then pat it outwards into the rest of my foundation. Now we want to just brush through our eyebrows, just clean them up a little bit, and we're going to take a matte brown eyeshadow and an angled brush and just fill in our eyebrows with that, just to define them and give them a cleaner shape. Your eyebrows are the frames for your eyes, essentially, so you really want to make sure that they're always looking their best. You're just going to fill them in just in between where you're seeing little spaces between the hairs. After we finish our eyebrows, we're going to move on to our eyes. I always start off with a primer, and my favorite is the Urban Decay Primer Potion. And we're just going to apply that all over the lid. Just pat that on, and it's really going to help your eyeshadows to stay in place. We're going to be using a cream shadow in this, so we really especially want to use a primer because cream shadows tend to crease a little more easily. Because I want to keep my eyes pretty low key for this, since my lips are going to be the focal point, I'm just going to use a shimmery sort of champagne color. This is Laura Mercier's cream color in Platinum. I'm not sure why it's called Platinum since it's not very silvery, it's much more champagne, but I'm just going to pat that on the eye and on the inner corners as well. I always like applying a little bit of highlight to the inner corner of my eyes. I just really feel like it helps your eyes to look brighter and more awake. So after we've applied that cream shadow, we're going to go in with a chocolate brown shadow, and we're just going to put that right on the outer corner of our eyes and up into the crease just a little bit. I'm using a very light hand with this because really this is just about giving a little bit of definition, not about creating a smoky eye or any sort of dramatic eye. So just very carefully add a little V shape and brush it out into that champagne color. Next we're going to take a matte mauve-y taupe kind of color. This is Illegal by Urban Decay, and a big fluffy brush. And we're just going to brush that into our crease and blend it really well. Next we're going to take a highlight color. I'm using Virgin by Urban Decay, and we're just going to brush that under the brow bone just to give it a little bit of highlight right underneath the eyebrow like that. Next we're going to take a black eyeliner. I'm using a liquid eyeliner by Sephora, and we're just going to place that as close to the lash line as we can. Just very carefully. You can make little dots if you feel insecure about that. Just place little dots and then connect them if you need to. And we're just going to create just a slight wing on the outer corners. I'm not doing anything too dramatic on the eyes, so just a little wing just to help elongate your eyes and give them a prettier shape. I tend to have very wide circular eyes, or just very circle. Yeah, they're not really almond shaped, so I like adding a little bit of a wing on the outer corner just to give my eye a little bit of a better, more sultry sort of shape. So we're just creating a little wing that you can see right there. Next we're going to curl our eyelashes. We're just doing this to prepare our eyes for our fake eyelashes. So you just want to curl your lashes, and then I always like to add just one little coat of mascara before I put my eyelashes on. So just a light coating. For my fake lashes, I'll be putting on E.L.F.'s little false lashes that they have in black. So once you've applied your fake eyelashes, you're just going to take your mascara again, and you're going to brush that through just so that you can really blend your natural eyelashes in with those fake eyelashes. And then once I've applied the mascara on top, I always go with the little residue and put it on the bottom. I'm not really big on having lots of mascara on the bottom of my lashes. I tend to get raccoon eyes, so I just put a little bit, whatever's left on the brush. I don't want anything too light reflectant for this, so I'm just going to put an illuminating moisturizer instead of a highlighter on my cheekbones. This would normally be used as a foundation, but I'm using it as a highlighter because it gives a more subtle sort of glow. That way my skin just looks really fresh and healthy. So I'm going to apply that to the tops of my cheekbones, and then a little bit down my nose and on my Cupid's bow. I really love the nice subtle sort of sheen that this gives. I personally think all over your face is a little too much of this, at least in Florida. It's too sweaty looking. Next we're going to apply a bronzer. I'm using the Bobbi Brown Medium bronzer, and I'm putting that in the hollows of my cheeks and up on the sides of my face and underneath my chin and jawbone. Next I'm going to apply a pinky peach sort of blush color. This is MAC's Pincho Peach, and I'm going to apply that just above the apples of my cheeks, just slightly higher. And this is just going to give a nice little flush, but nothing too dramatic. After you've applied your blush, you're going to set everything with a translucent powder. I'm using E.L.F.Mineral's Mineral Veil, and you're just going to take your kabuki brush and just brush that all over, focusing a little bit more on your T-zone. Now it's finally time to work on our lips. You're just going to take a red liner and line your lips. Depending on your lip shape, you might want to go slightly outside of your line or slightly inside if you feel your lips are either too large or too small. For this look, I'm personally just going to stay with my natural lip shape. You're then going to fill your lips in with that liner, and that's going to create a nice base to help your lipstick stay put. After that, you're going to take your lipstick. I'm using Christian Dior's Devilish Pink. This color I splurged on, but I love it. You're going to apply that with the lip brush all over your lips. I just love this color. It makes me all kinds of happy. But anyway, once you apply this all over your lip, you're then going to actually blot it with a tissue paper. We're just going to do this lip color in layers, and that's really going to help it stay. So you just want to blot it, and you want to take more of that lip color and just apply that all over. And this way, if you look through the first layer, you pretty much have 2 other layers before you're going to have a problem with your lipstick not staying put and needing to reapply it. If you're not happy with this matte look, you can add a little bit of gloss. I'm adding Clinique's Super Balm in Raspberry, which I love because it's not sticky at all. And you're just going to apply that to the center of your lid and the center of your upper lid, just to add a little bit of fullness and shine. And there you go, you're done.
Have fun watching the Oscars, everyone. I hope you enjoyed watching this. Bye.